A very good evening and a very warm welcome to State of Business on our television. I am Savindri Jayabodhana. Let's look at the top stories for the day. Sri Lanka's first state-owned wind power plant was declared open in Mannar, adding 103.5 megawatt to national grid. The new government is confident enough to settle all the loans taken by the previous governments. State Minister stresses. News in detail. Sri Lanka's first state-owned wind-powered plant named Thambapavani was declared open in Mannar this morning under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, adding 103.5 megawatt to national grid. Located in Mannar, Thambapavani is the largest wind power plant complex in the country, and the foundation for the project was laid in 2014. This wind power plant is situated in 150 hectare land away from 30 meters from the Mannar shore. It is reported that this wind power plant will provide electricity for more than 200,000 families. The Ceylon Electricity Board was awarded the Mannar wind power project contract to build the project, which comprises of 30 state-of-the-art wind-assisted power generating turbines. Each turbine is rated to generate 3.45 megawatts of power, and the total installed capacity of this windmill farm is 103.5 megawatts. The new wind power plant will help to save foreign exchange by radically reducing the amount of fuel imported into the country.
මෙතෙක් පෞද්ගලික අංශයට කුඩාවට හෝ සුළං බලයෙන් විදුලිය ජනන කිරීමේ හැකියාවක් තිබුණා. මොනවා ලංකා විදුලි බල මණ්ඩලයට ඒ හැකියාව එදා තිබුණාද? මොකද මෙතෙක් සුළං විදුලි බලාගාර තිබුණේ පෞද්ගලික අංශය සතු. ඒ නිසා මන්නාර මේ විවෘත වන මෙම සුළං විදුලි බලාගාරය උද්‍යානය ලංකා විදුලි බල මණ්ඩලයට අයත් පළමු සුළං විදුලි බලාගාරය උද්‍යානය ලෙස ඉතිහාසගත වේ.
The government has given the green light to set up a $300 million project within the premises of Hambantota International Port for manufacturing semi-steel radial tires and total steel radial tires for the export market by Shandong Hawahua Tire Company Limited of China. Thus, this and many other key cabinet decisions were brought forward at the cabinet decision press conference held online at the Department of Government Information today morning. Shandong Hawahua Tire Company Limited of China submitted a project proposal to the Board of Investment with an investment of $300 million for the establishment of a project within the premises of Hambantota International Harbour for manufacturing semi-steel radial tires and total steel radial towers for the export market. The Board of Investment has given its consent for the implementation of this project as a strategy development project. Accordingly, the Cabinet of Ministers has approved the resolution forwarded by Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa as the Minister of Finance for awarding relevant tax relief as per the provisions furnished by the Strategy Development Act, subject to several conditions, and Cabinet spokesman and Media Minister Keheli Rambukwala explained about the investment in detail.
We have given them time for 3 years to commence operations, and the products out of the production, minimum of 80% to be exported. That is the information that is available at the moment.
Moreover, Cabinet approval has been granted to implement an appropriate program to establish 1,000 new national schools covering all divisional secretariats under 3 phases. On the other hand, the government has given the nod to formulate and implement a long-term human resource development plan as an urgent requirement for enhancing the performance and productivity of the public service. In the meantime, responding to the queries of the journalists, Co-Cabinet spokesman Minister of Energy Uday Gammampila stresses that no final decision has been taken so far to close the Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka, and that if it is to be closed, it needs to be done by an act of the Parliament.
ජනාධිපති ලේකම්වරයා විසින් යවන ලද ඒ ලිපිය පිළිබඳ ඊයේ අමාත්‍ය මණ්ඩලයේදී ඇමතිවරුන් ගණනාවක් අදහස් දක්වලා මහජන උපයෝගිතා කොමිෂන් සභාවේ කාර්යභාරය මොකද්ද? එය මේ වෙන විට ඉටු වෙනවාද? ඉටු වෙන්නේ නැත්නම් ගත යුතු පියවර මොනවද කියන එක පිළිබඳ දීර්ඝ සාකච්ඡාවක් කරා. කොහොමත් මහජන උපයෝගිතා කොමිසම අහෝසි කරනවා නේ. අහෝසි කරන්නේ ලිපියකින් නෙවෙයි පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට ගෙන එන පනතකින්. ඒ නිසා මහජන කොමිෂන් සභාවේ අහෝසි කිරීමක් සිද්ධ වෙලා නැහැ. ඒ පිළිබඳ අදහසක් ඒ පිළිබඳ සාකච්ඡාවක් ආරම්භ වීමක් පමණයි වෙන්නේ. එහි කාර්යක්ෂමතාවය පිළිබඳ එය විෂයපතේට අදාළව කටයුතු කරන පිළිබඳ සාකච්ඡාවක් සංවාදයක් විතර ඇති වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. මහජන උපයෝගිතා කොමිසම විශේෂයෙන්ම ලංකා විදුලි බල මණ්ඩලය විදුලි බල නිෂ්පාදනය සහ බෙදා හැරීම සම්බන්ධයෙන් ඒකාධිකාරියක් තියෙන ආයතනයක්. ඒ වගේම ලංකා කනිජ තෙල් නීතිගත සංස්ථාව ලංකාවේ තෙල් බෙදා හැරීමේදී වෙළඳපොළෙන් 92% පාලනය කරනවා. ඒතර අපිට කියත හැකි ඔන්න මෙන්න ඒකාධිකාරියක්. වර්චුවල් මොනෝපොලි එකක් පවත්වාගෙන යනවා. ඒ නිසා එවැනි ආයතන දෙකම ආණ්ඩුවේ ආයතන නිසා ඒ අමාත්‍යංශයෙන් ඒ ආයතනයේ නියාමනය කරනකොට ඒ සඳහා ස්වාධීන ආයතනයක් තිබිය යුතුයි. ඉතින් මහජන උපයෝගිතා කොමිසමේ ඒ කාර්යය ඉටු වෙන්නේ නැත්නම් ඒ අඩුපාඩු දුර්වලතා හඳුනාගෙන ඒ නියාමනය කිරීමේ වැදගත්කම් පිළිබඳ ඊයේ අමාත්‍ය මණ්ඩලයේදී දීර්ඝව සාකච්ඡා කරා.
Stay tuned for more news right after this break. State Minister of Money and Capital Market and State Enterprise Reforms Ajit Niwad Cabral charges the good governance regime that they had taken loans when the country did not have plans to settle those. Joining the committee stage debate on the budget 2021, State Minister Cabral said that the new government is confident enough to settle all the loans taken by the previous governments.
Yesterday on the news, one of the constituent members came before the media and made certain utterances and some value judgments with regard to an investigation that was to take place through the committee of which he was a member. And he's a member of the legal fraternity and a constituent member of the particular committee that was appointed to investigate into the Mahara massacre. It's very important that whenever there's an investigation, an examination of facts taking place, that you have to gain public confidence to ensure that particular investigation is devoid of bias, is devoid of prejudice and discrimination. How can you have an independent investigation when a constituent member and quite a famous member from the legal fraternity coming in front of the media yesterday and uttering certain value judgments, postulating his own opinion? How can you have an independent investigation?
විපක්ෂ නායකතුමා එතුමාගේ පෞද්ගලික මතයක් ඉදිරිපත් කරේ නැහැ. අපේ වාර්තාවේ තියෙන අඩංගු කරුණු තමයි ඊයේ ඉදිරිපත් කරේ. ඒ වාර්තාව හෙට උදේ ගරු අධිකරණ අමාත්‍යතුමා විසින් he will table it in parliament tomorrow morning, so all of you will have the detail by tomorrow morning.
Honorable Ajit Niwad Cabral, you please continue.
I have given way to the point of order.
Please continue.
I have given way to the leader of the opposition. I have given way to the leader of the opposition, but I am not giving way to you. Please sit down and listen. Please sit down and listen. Be patient, honorable member.
You don't even know what
You are a senior. පොඩ වාඩිලා අහගෙන ඉන්න. මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ ඇහුවේ ගරු මන්ත්‍රීතුමා. මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ ඇහුවේ ගරු විපක්ෂ නායකතුමා. ගරු විපක්ෂ නායකතුමා.
What is the point of order?
You mentioned my name. You pointed at me. The president said that when he comes into power, he will cancel the Hambantota port deal. Why haven't you cancelled it?
This is not a point of order again.
You know very well. You know very well. Under 27(2), no other MP can join in. Of course, the one who has asked the question can ask a question. But no other MP has any right unless you would allow.
Honorable Minister, please continue.
Honorable Leader of the Opposition, can you please ask them to keep quiet so that I can respond to you? I have been given time to respond to him.
Please ensure the dignity of this August audience.
Absolutely. Sri Lankaවේ විදේශ ශ්‍රම වෙළඳපොළ ඡයවීම, සංචාරක ව්‍යාපාරය අඩාල වීම, අපනයන ආදායම වැනි අර්බුදයක් හමුවේ පවා පසුගිය රජය අධික ලෙස ණය ගෙන තිබුණා. ඒ ආකාරයට ගෙන තිබූ ණය 2020 වසර තුල අප රජය සාර්ථක ලෙස ගෙවා දැම්මා.
ඉදිරියේදීත් ගෙවනවා. Even though it may be challenging, we will be able to pay that, and we will pay that. All the loans that they took, which I just described, we will be making payments. So there is no issue with that.
State Minister for Urban Development, Coast Conservation, Waste Disposal and Community Hygiene, Dr. Lanka assures that no existing trader at the Old Manning Market in Colombo will be unfairly treated at the Paliaguda Manning Market and that they will receive bigger slots to trade with better facilities at the new Manning Market in Paliaguda. State Minister Godeheva made this assurance addressing a media briefing yesterday. Traders who were involved in business at the Manning Market in Colombo protested opposite the Presidential Secretariat yesterday in the area provided to engage in demonstrations and protests, claiming that the slots allocated at the Paliaguda Manning Market is not adequate for trading purposes. However, convening a media briefing to discuss about the developments of the Paliaguda Manning Market, State Minister for Urban Development, Coast Conservation, Waste Disposal and Community Hygiene, Dr. Lanka yesterday assured that no existing trader at the Old Manning Market in Colombo will be unfairly treated and that they will be given larger slots in Paliaguda Manning Market to engage in trading.
Now we are in the process of allocating space to the traders. Here what we are very conscious about is to make sure that none of the existing traders are unfairly treated. We want to make sure that each one of them who is operating in the current Manning Market is given space bigger than what he or she currently has, and a space which has more facilities. The banking facilities, restaurants, transportation facilities, all the facilities are there. So they are going from a location in Peta, which is currently congested, to a better place. And each one of them is going to get space. And then once we allocate space, something like 95% of the new shops will be given to the existing traders, about 5% will remain, mainly the wholesale shops, and they will be allocated to new traders who will be identified from various parts of the country, who can bring goods at a reasonable price to Colombo, who can help the market to grow and also to bring the prices down. So the basis of allocating those shops are currently being discussed, that we will convey later. But whatever we do, the basis will be for the benefit of the people alone.
The United Nations in Sri Lanka and the Australian High Commission announced a new joint effort to empower communities in the Mannar district to prevent sexual and gender-based violence against women and girls. The $670,691 program will be implemented by United Nations from 2020 to 2022. The program launched on 1st September 2020 will address the systematic and transformative changes needed to ensure families and communities support non-violence and gender-equitable relationships and for children to uphold gender-equitable attitudes. A multi-pronged approach to empower women will look at engaging them in income-generating activities and improve their status within the family. Women and girls have been disproportionately impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, highlighting social, political and economic vulnerabilities that exposes women to violence. The $670,691 program will be implemented by UNFPA, UNICEF and UN Women over 2 years from 2020 to 2022. Speaking on the joint UN efforts, the UN Sri Lanka Resident Coordinator Hana Singhal said studies indicate that 26% of men and 38% of women believe there are circumstances when it is permissible for a man to hit a woman. Singhal added that this program will seek to address these gender inequalities and discriminatory social norms towards women and girls. The program will seek to understand the drivers of violence against women in the Mannar district and support women's shelters to ensure they are accessible to women and persons with disabilities during lockdown. Stay tuned for stock updates right after this break. Welcome back after the break. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a positive note today. The all-share price index gained 90.24 points to close at 6,564 and the S&P SL20 gained 59.75 points to close at 2,642.50. Turnover was 4.2 billion rupees and over 326 million shares were traded. Up next are forex rates. With that, we'll be signing out for today. See you tomorrow with State of Business at the usual time. Until then, take care and good night.